to Barcelona. We'll talk a little bit about this, given the fact that we've got Sid Lowe with us. That's another big star linked to Barcelona, Sid. How?
Every day it's a different name, and every day it's a name that seems even more implausible than the day before. And quite honestly, you do reach the point where you think, how is this happening? How are we getting these headlines every single day? Now, obviously, there's a couple of reasons for it. One of them is, of course, that Barcelona are working on what they keep referring to as levers. Palancas, as this word has now come into the, if you like, the football lexicon to mean a financial lever, which Barcelona are looking towards try and put together. But that really doesn't resolve the problem of the financial fair play rules in Spain and the salary limits. So they're still in a position where for any amount of money they spend, they have to have made back 4 times that. They're on a 4-to-1 ratio. That makes it very, very difficult. One of the reasons why so many different names come out is, of course, because Barcelona are in that difficult position that they're scrabbling around and trying to think, right, what could the solutions be? And there are lots of possible solutions out there, although the reality is that most of them probably aren't solutions. And let me give you the answer on this particular case that Pep Guardiola gave. He was back in Catalonia this week. He was at a golf day. He was asked about Bernardo Silva. And it was quite bizarre because, in a way, he was asked about Bernardo Silva as if he was a pundit talking about Barcelona, rather than the manager who's about to lose Bernardo Silva in this case. And he said, well, I'm not sure if Barcelona can afford him. And I just thought, that's it. There it is in a nutshell.
Well, that's interesting, actually, because how much do you think Man City would want for a player like Bernardo Silva?
Well, they paid 100 million for Jack Grealish, and I think Bernardo Silva's more reliable than Jack Grealish at the top level. But he's a high earner. He's had a great season at the Etihad. I don't think City will sell Bernardo.
At times, this season that's just passed, he was Man City's best player at times. Didn't always get the plaudits that some of the other players do get. We've seen new players coming in now. We know that there's already a wealth of attacking options there at Man City. Is there a risk that if he sticks around LA, he's going to be kept on the sidelines?
I suppose there is a risk, but if you're Bernardo Silva, you're not going to a better project if you're going to Barcelona. Barcelona, while they seem to be trending in the right direction, they're still a long way away. And so you have to be very careful as to how you make this decision. I really think that for Bernardo Silva, I think Pep Guardiola has a soft spot for Bernardo Silva. And he will continue to find places for him on the field. There is a lot of flexibility and variety to his game, which I think Pep Guardiola truly appreciates and truly appreciates his genius as a player. So I don't think that Barcelona would be a better setup for Bernardo Silva than what he currently has at Manchester City.
I think there are a couple of things to add here. That City want a defensive midfielder, so Frankie de Jong could be part of any kind of deal here. But I think the players that are going to leave this summer, Raheem Sterling might go, and Gabriel Jesus. So Sterling and Jesus go. Do they really need to lose Bernardo? I think that's asking a lot. But if Frankie de Jong is part of any potential deal, then it may happen because City want a midfielder and he'd be perfect. But like Sid was saying, the numbers may not add up.
To your question, Kay, I think there's a real risk that Bernardo Silva may find himself further down the pecking order. But I thought that risk was a lot greater 12 months ago, where it seemed like he was on his way out. And then he had the season that he did. And the one thing every single footballer at this level does is back themselves. So regardless of what may be coming, Bernardo Silva sitting on the back of that season that he just had, whatever speculation is going on is not too troubling to him at all.
You mentioned Frankie de Jong. Obviously, that could be dependent on this whole move, Sid, if it is to happen. What do you think the Barcelona fans would think of having Bernardo Silva come in and losing Frankie de Jong? Would it be seen as an upgrade?
Oof. I honestly don't know what the view of the fans would be. I think fundamentally there's a broader question which isn't necessarily about a potential swap between one and moving from one to the other. I think there's a broader question which is about a recognition of the fact that if Frankie de Jong goes, of course there will be an analysis of how well he played, and I think there will be some people who feel that they didn't quite see the very best of him. But I think more than anything else, I think there will be a recognition that his departure, if it happens, will be for economic reasons. So this will be the guy that could have been the right player for them, the guy that was bought in, that theoretically was Barcelona style, that was expensive. I think it was 70 million euros, if I remember rightly, when he came in. And that was seen as expensive, but the right signing. That really does stand him apart from some of the signings we've seen over the years. Pjanic, for example, even if that had worked out, that's the wrong reason for a guy to come in. Andre Gomes, that wasn't the right player. Arda Turan, that wasn't the right player. And I'm just talking about midfielders now. And yet, I think with Frankie de Jong, there was always a belief that, yes, this is the right guy. So if he goes now, I think more than it's not really about whether he gets replaced by Bernardo Silva or by anybody else. It's more about looking at it and thinking, wow, our situation was really, really bad. We're so bad that we had to let Frenkie de Jong go because financially that was what we needed to do. And I think that will be the mindset if this eventually happens, that it was about the, if you like, the structural and the economic and the institutional difficulties that Barcelona have, rather than about Frenkie de Jong purely as a footballer. I mean, the best possible example of this, of course, Kay, is let's go back to last year. They lost a guy called Leo Messi, who was quite good at football. And they lost him because the financial situation was so disastrous for them.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.